Hello everybody and welcome back to Mounties Midweek. I'm Drew Patrick. This week, every fall athletic team was in action. We preview the Salute the Troops weekend in LUMA, and I go out of my league with the sprint football team. The field hockey team opened their season up in New Haven, Connecticut for 2 games. The first was St. Michael's College. The scoring started in the second half when Megan Griffin just cranks this one for the 1-0 lead. 5 minutes later, Emily Sadowski gets her first goal of the year, and Mansfield would go on to win 2-0. The defense was spectacular, holding the Purple Knights without a shot. Game 2 against Southern Connecticut State. Early on, the ball sneaks through and Amber Prince taps it in for the goal. Then later, a penalty stroke is awarded. Dana Evans, yeah, she's not losing that battle. Mansfield continued on the scoring in the first half with a loose ball in front, and Larissa Motz lays out for the third goal of the contest. They went into the half with a 3-1 lead. Second half now, a penalty corner sneaks around the outside. Dana Evans cranks it, and Michaela Chacon with the redirect goal. The Mounties get the big victory, the final 4-1. Mansfield sets a new school record with a ridiculous 45 shots in the contest, and the ladies return to action Wednesday as they travel to IUP before their home opener this Sunday. The soccer team had 2 matches this week. The first match was Shippensburg. The Raiders came away with the 2-0 victory. Mansfield had 10 shots in the game. Senior Bria Bittiger led the way with 4, and freshman Stephanie Moyer had 9 saves. On Saturday, the ladies traveled to 19th ranked Slippery Rock, and the Rock got the better of the Mounties, winning the game 6-0. The ladies return to the pitch Wednesday as they travel to East Stroudsburg, and then return home Saturday as they welcome Seton Hill. The sprint football team had an exhibition tune-up before they start their season this weekend. In the fourth quarter, Mansfield's up 14-3. 4 receivers set. Back. Roppers will go towards the end zone looking for Henry. Caught! And touchdown for Quinn Henry. Gary Roppers to Quinn Henry, a freshman connection there. Roppers had a big day, throwing for 235 and 3 scores, and DJ McLean also hauled in 2 touchdown passes on the day. The Mountaineers welcome Penn this weekend for their annual LUMA game. The cross-country team hosted the Mansfield Duel this past weekend. On the men's side of things, Ryan Clifford took the top spot on senior day with a 7K time of 22:27, and Quincy Amabile was right behind, finishing at 22:53. On the ladies' side, Lindsay Payne had a big PR, finishing the 5K race in 19:27, which was good enough for 3rd place. The teams are racing again September 22nd as they travel to the Lock Haven Invite. Join Mansfield University in honoring our servicemen and women for Light Up Mansfield again and Salute the Troops weekend on September 15th and 16th at Carl Van Norman Field. There will be free admission at Carl Van Norman Field to anyone with military identification. There is also a limited number of free tickets to the football game available at the PSECU office in Manzer Hall. From 3:30 to 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, fans can test their skills in the world's largest mobile laser tag arena at the parking lot next to Allen Hall. Other fun activities will be happening outside the main gates of Van Norman Field starting at 5 p.m. For the complete list of events and schedule, head over to gomounties.com. Now let's take a look at some of the other things happening this week. Do not go anywhere. Sports Talk on the other side. We'll be right back. Welcome back here. This is Sports Talk, and we're joined right now by the head sprint football coach, Mr. John Evans. And hey, the season officially starts this week. A lot of excitement.
Can't wait. A lot of excitement on the field, in the locker room, and in the stands. Yeah.
So we had an exhibition this past week. Before the game, you told me the big thing: keep healthy, stay healthy, stay healthy. How do you feel they handled that?
I think we did stay healthy. Knock on wood. We stayed real healthy. We didn't do well in a lot of other areas, but we stayed healthy.
Let's start some of the positive takeaways. The defense was pretty good. It was one of the things that you said you wanted to look on in that game specifically. They forced a lot of turnovers and held the team to only 36 rush yards.
Yeah, defense played well. They were swarming. One of the things I do when I evaluate film is on the last click of the film, I want to see how many bodies are at the ball. And there were 8 to 10 bodies every time the last click of the film, which means we're swarming to the football.
Absolutely. And then the offense looked pretty good as well. What did you see and what stood out?
Well, I mean, we're the two quarterback system right now. I mean, we're really both quarterbacks had shining moments, and both quarterbacks had some things they need to work on. I do truly feel that we have a very good offense this year. Weapon-wise, we've got running backs and we've got receivers that really can get down the field and score.
And some of the negatives in this game, starting with the penalties, 17 penalties for 157 yards. I'm sure that's a number that doesn't bode well in the coach's room.
No, and they're going to be doing 17 sprints every day for 157 yards too. It doesn't at all. And you go up against Penn with 17 penalties, and you're not going to win that game. Penn's very well disciplined. They don't make a lot of mistakes, and we make a lot of mistakes. And I call them freshman mistakes, because there's a lot of freshmen on the field, but we can't make those mistakes. We can't jump offside and pass interference and the stuff that happened Saturday.
You know, having that exhibition game and these penalties coming in that game, is it a little bit of a good thing that they can shake off the rust there if this is a rust issue?
I truly think so. The Ivy League schools, they have alumni games. They have enough alumni to suit up, and it's pretty competitive. I guess Penn only won 38-28 with their alumni this weekend. But yeah, I mean, normally in the past we've scrimmaged each other, and it isn't. It's just like a practice session. We saw some different colored jerseys. We did a lot of stuff together, which I felt was very beneficial to the team.
And then there was some struggles in the red zone a little bit. 3 for 6 in the red zone. What's got to improve come here the start of the regular season?
Well, the thing is our kicking game. We have to find a kicking game. That's the big thing. Down in the red zone, I mean, I called a fake field goal in the first half, and I think we could have got it, but the receivers didn't realize we were faking it. So we didn't get the call to the field. A lot of it is we're no huddle and pretty fast paced this year, and a lot of it is the communication between the staff and the field, and there were some miscommunication things that happened. Down in the red zone, I think we thought we could run the ball on them, and we probably should have thrown, looking at the film today and yesterday, we should have thrown the ball a little bit more down there.
And you just mentioned the fast-paced offense. Is time of possession going to be a worry for you? Is your goal to have the ball more so you can get those scores? More
than in the past. I mean, I'm a big statistical guy, and the past 3 or 4 years, defense has been out on the field close to 70% of each game, which means the offense just goes 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. The nice stat that really jumped out at me looking at the stats was we had possession over 11 minutes in the fourth quarter. Saturday, and that's huge. I mean, that you can control a game like that.
Yeah, 11-3.
Yeah,
there. Yep. So that's, especially in that final quarter, you want to have more people there. So let's get into this week. Penn comes into town, a traditional very good team in the CSFL. What have you seen from them early on that you have to prepare for?
Well, they've got a quarterback, Eddie Jenkins, who didn't play against us last year. He's the real deal. He can take control of a game. He's got the legs, he's got the arm, and he's a very elusive a guy. So we've got to contain him. That's the big thing. Contain him. They lost some offensive weapons. They lost a couple of receivers, and they lost a running back. Defensively, they're pretty good. They lost one player on their defense. That was a good defense last year. So our big thing is I think our offense is much better than it's ever been. So I think it's going to be a very good offense against a very good defense Saturday. I think it's going to be a war.
So for the seniors and the upperclassmen on this team, who their last game last year was against this Penn team, and they were up early in that game, do you think that adds a little extra motivation that the last thing really in their mind of a CSFL game was that same team that they're facing here?
I certainly do. We traditionally, the last couple of years, start out like a house of fire and then just run out of gas at the end, and that's what happened down at Franklin Field last year. We started out 14-0, and the next thing we knew, we were down 28-14, and they just rode from there. So yeah, I think that's the big thing, that we got to play 4 quarters of football. We can't jump out to a lead or come from behind. We just can't do that.
And then it's interesting with the 2 quarterback system that with it, how do you get both quarterbacks into a rhythm? Because if they both have good looks, but how do you get them into their rhythm?
You know, that's a great question, and I don't really have an answer for that, but I went home from the Saturday and I watched Alabama play, and they just, whoever's hot, they let stay out there. So I think we're going to do the same thing Saturday. I think we're going to start out with Adam Hutchinson, the senior, and very poised, and he's a great leader, and give him a series, and then give Gary Roppers a series, and see who's moving the ball on us and get them out there. We'll probably stick with one a little more than the other when we figure out who's moving the team.
Yeah, and Adam Hutchinson, another thing with him is he's kind of a utility knife for this team. Comes in at quarterback and is also the kicker and the punter. And another utility knife, Quinn Henry, who you've had do a couple things from the slot, is also the holder. So having those 2 players and having players, especially in sprint football, where you kind of need that, how important is it to have those utility knife type players?
No, it's huge. I mean, Hutch is also a slot receiver. So I mean, he could also go out there in the slot and catch the ball. But it's big. I mean, you know, when everybody's the same size, guys like Quinn Henry, he's a game changer. He's a local kid that's a freshman this year, and he had a big game Saturday. He scored a touchdown, caught a couple of balls. Would have run a pump back for a touchdown had we blocked it a little bit better. But it's important.
And so this week, it being Penn, it's also the annual LUMA game, along with Salute the Troops weekend. So a lot of extra things going on. For a young team, you have that huge bulk of freshmen. How do you control their emotions with everything else that's going on? We're
gonna surround them Saturday. Usually we don't. A 7:00 game is makes for a long day. So we're gonna have them out here on the field at 9:00 in the morning Saturday doing a walkthrough, just throwing the ball around and just getting them out of bed and having them relax a little bit. And then we're gonna have a meal together right after noon, and then pretty much spend the day. You got to keep them away from the distractions is what we need to do.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for stopping by, and best of luck this
Thanks,
weekend.
Joe. Appreciate it.
All right, Sports Talk rolls on after this.
Mansfield University is the only biology program in Pennsylvania that requires undergraduate independent research. The Department of Biology's mission is to provide high-quality undergraduate instruction to integrate the scientific method and scientific investigation into the biology curriculum and to enhance the university, community, and region. We are one of very few institutions that offers training in genomics. The Fisheries program has the most extensive coursework in the state and is the only program that offers comprehensive education in fish culture and requires hands-on summer courses in fisheries management. Mansfield Biology is the only program in PA that has taken full advantage of the Marcellus Shale hydraulic fracturing effects. Our graduates are accepted into postgraduate studies and employment at rates approaching 95%.
Welcome back here. Now let's talk with a face from field hockey that we actually haven't seen yet here, and it's the head coach, the reigning PSAC Coach of the Year, Brittany Hansrote. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
So this past week, the season started, and heck of a showing there. What are some of your initial thoughts there from that first week?
I think we're just really excited that we came out and got the 2 wins. It's the first time that we got the 2 wins since 2013 because we play this tournament each year with St. Mike's in Southern Connecticut, and then Shippensburg's involved in it as well. So we've been doing this for, back to since I was a player here. So it's really nice. 5 years ago was the last, like I said, that we came out with a 2-0 record. So to do that this year, I think, is very telling of how our team's going to maybe perform this year.
So starting with that first, speaking of 2-0, that first contest against St. Michael's, a 2-0 victory, and held that team without a shot.
Yeah, honestly, I definitely, it went much better than expected, the game, obviously, because those stats showed. But I'll have to say, last year that we lost 1-0. One of their backs had come up and scored off a tip on a corner. It was beautiful, and we outstatted them last year, and we got the loss. So that was kind of upsetting for us. But this year we just came out and totally dominated, and I was definitely surprised in that game because I thought for sure that it was going to be a lot more back and forth with the stats. But so I think we did a great job defensively as far as shutting them down ahead of the play and upfield more, not letting them get into our defensive red zone. And we just did a good job of shutting them down, and that definitely worked in our favor.
Yeah, and offensively, drawing those 13 corners to be able to set up shots, how important was that to your offense?
Crucial, and it's something that we've been missing the last couple of years, is having that offensive push. Since year one that I've been here since 2015, we've just improved in every statistical category, and we plan to do that again this year. So this is the most offensive I've ever seen this team, but that's what we've been waiting for. So it's definitely a great thing. We capitalized on one of the corners we got that day from Megan Griffin off a straight shot, and so that's great. We definitely have some work to do with the amount of shots we're getting that we want to touch up. Just some things with positioning and our corners, but again, I can't complain. It's opening weekend, so.
And short rest was back the very next day, and a huge 4-1 victory in that one. And can we just for a second talk about 45 shots, 23 of those on goal? That is incredible. What clicked for this offense?
Gosh, there's so many things that I think led into that. We actually trialed 2 different formations in that game because we're just still working out some things. But so there was people moving around, but I almost feel like at times that worked to in our favor because the other team, we were definitely very versatile and diverse, and it was hard to really read us as a unit because there was just different faces in different spots, and everybody brings something different to the table, but there was still the connections going on, and we do a really great job of drawing fouls and finding our passing lanes, and that's exactly what we did, and there you go, we had all those shots.
And you mentioned here before we got on here that's the most shots in a contest.
Yeah, I spoke with Ryan McNamara, the head SID, and he was saying the last time, or the most shots he had seen or could find in his archives was actually from when I was a player, my senior year, when we played Seton Hill. There was 40 shots. So he couldn't find anything higher than that. So from his findings, he thinks that might actually be a school record, and I wouldn't be surprised. That's a lot of shots.
Of course, you're being humble here too. You had a hat trick in that game.
Yeah. Okay.
So being able to be part of those 2 things, one as a player, one as a coach, does it feel any different?
Yeah. Well, of course it's different being a coach versus a player. There's definitely different emotions, but then there's also a lot of similar emotions just because this is my alma mater. So I think there's just so much more emotion involved with it in a good way. And I think definitely, and I hear it from my girls personally, and as I'm seeing different interviews they do, that they say it all the time, they can definitely feel and sense my emotion behind how much I care about this program. And it's true, it's genuine. So I think it's just that I feel such a connection with the players, but also the program. Like, this is my program. This is where I'm. We were kind of from a stitch from the same cloth. It's kind of a term people say. So that's what makes it, I just guess, even more special.
And at some of the practices that I was able to attend, you said you were stressing offense. 6 goals in the first 2 games. That's definitely a good offensive turnout. How do you keep that momentum going coming up?
Yeah, well, we have IUP, even though it does not count for conference, they're still in our conference. So it's going to be a true test there to see how are we going to match up with some conference play. We want to last year we split with them and lost at home and won away. And that was a heartbreaker loss because we had the lead. We are planning, we want to get both wins, no matter what, if they count as for conference standings or not, they count for overall. So we want to build on the momentum of scoring those goals, getting those wins, and just keep moving forward and taking steps forward and don't take steps back. I always tell them we don't ever take a play off. We don't take a minute off, because the second you go on your heels, that's when breakdowns can happen. So I just keep motivating them and just saying we're just going to keep moving forward.
So how do you keep that motivation up with, especially, I mean, it's a conference opponent, but as you mentioned, it's not a conference game. Is there a different game plan for that?
No, we go in with, we review film a lot, so we go in with game plans for each particular team based on their, who's on their roster, what formation they play, et cetera, but it's no difference between this is conference, this isn't counting it for conference. It's just based on the team, and whether we see them twice or not, we just prepare per the team that we're playing.
And then, don't want you looking too far ahead, but this Sunday, Queens of Charlotte comes in, a non-conference opponent. And it's very interesting because we'll talk about the Salute the Troops weekend here, but it's a Sunday morning. You had that this past week, but there's a lot going on here on campus. So for that game, how do you keep your players mentally focused and able to come out the morning after such a big event and be able to focus and come and play?
I think I always just take them back to what are we trying to achieve as a team and as a program, and that's we want to make playoffs this year, so we can't take our eyes off of that. So I always just prepare them for every game. The big theme this past weekend was when we had the lead that don't get comfortable with that. And so I think that's kind of the theme for the year is don't take anything for granted, and don't ever for 1 second take your eyes off of what our ultimate goal is as a program. And we have to come ready for every opponent and be ready every minute of every game, because it's tough competition in Division II in general. Queens, 2 years ago we played them in their first actual year of competition for them, and we lost that game. Once again, we outstatted them, but we lost. And so it goes back to you asking about offense. Clearly, we showed we have an offensive push, but at the same time, we still need to touch up on some things offensively to make sure that we are able to execute when it counts. Because we easily could have got some more goals and didn't, just based on little tiny things that were off. So we're going to really work hard on that and make sure that we're able to execute when we have the opportunities, because you never know how many opportunities you are going to be given against any particular opponent. So it's really crucial to be able to execute when it counts and when you have those chances.
And another advantage for you guys in that match is it's going to be the first
our home
contest
opener
of the year.
Yeah, so I think that'll be it's going to be very hyped up. Just in general, great weekend with military appreciation, but it's going to be exciting just because it's our first home opener, and I know the girls are going to be amped up for that.
So let's talk about that this weekend, the Salute the Troops weekend. 4 athletic events coming up here on the 2 days. What else can we look out for?
Well, I think it's just going to be an exciting weekend in general. Soccer is going to be home on Saturday along with football, and then on Sunday there's field hockey, and then softball's doing some off-season play. So that'll be nice for them to just have 4 different events going on. It'll be a nice atmosphere. I know that on Saturday it's kind of going to be more of the bigger day on Saturday. Sunday will kind of be more so the overflow of the weekend. So ROTC and The color guard will be doing a presentation definitely at the football game. ROTC is definitely going to have a presence at all games. We're going to be selling shirts. We're going to be having SGA on Saturday is going to be coming up and running a laser tag event from 3:30 to 7:30. So I think that'll be neat. Try and get the campus involved a lot more. And then, it's LUMA too. So that's kind of neat. It's just kind of a lot of things tied into one, and it's early on in the academic year. So it's a great chance for students to just get involved. And there's just so many events to try to get out and see. And then also if parents do come, friends and family, if they come, and then any of the military personnel that come, showing an ID, it's free admission to the game. So, and we're going to honor them at all games, and at halftime at the games too. We're definitely looking to try and do some events. Field goal challenge is going to happen at our game at halftime. Football's going to be out there, and soccer, I think we're either going to do that or something similar. So just surrounding all the events, there's going to be just some neat things in a way to engage the community and campus.
And you mentioned one of the things, you're going to be selling shirts. So
Yeah.
We have one of those shirts right here. That is the Salute the Troops shirt.
Yep, and we have the American flag on the sleeve, and then this is the design we went with this year. Last year it was a green shirt with black screen. Each year we're going to have a quote-unquote themed shirt for military appreciation, because for Salute the Troops, we plan to do this every year. So each year we want to try and come out with just a different design, and this is what we came up with this year. We're excited about it. And then we also have an online store that's going to feature this shirt along with some other items, long sleeve, and just some other designs as well. So that'll be something, look out for that. There's going to be information put out from Ryan McNamara on GoMounties.com within the next day or so, or this week in general. We'll be having some info out, so go to GoMounties.com and check out some information on the military appreciation and Salute the Troops weekend, and you can get some more info as far as how to find the shirt. Like I said, this will be sold on campus, but then other items online if you're interested in getting some other things. And all of those proceeds are going to go to benefit Mansfield University and military organizations. So it's all for a great cause.
And with Military Appreciation Day, there's also a very close with you.
Yep.
What does this weekend mean to you?
Well, it's touching and it's close to my heart, just because you're referring to the fact that my husband is he's in the reserves, and he just came off of a 10-month deployment. He came home in May, so now we can say he was in Kuwait, actually. So I actually didn't know where he was during the entire time he was over there. Found out when he came home. So it's near and dear to my heart. It's something I'm very passionate about, and I know a lot of people on campus are supportive of military in general. So it's really nice to be able to have something unique to us and Mansfield, and that is close to a lot of people who are involved in this event to their heart. So we've just seen a lot of support and a lot of excitement around this event. Last year it went well, and what we try to do is just make it better year after year, and that's what our ultimate goal is, to just continue making it better each year.
All right, well, I'm expecting it to be just a fantastic weekend. And Brittany, thank you so much for stopping by here.
Absolutely. Thanks again.
Yep. And Mounties Midweek rolls on after this. Don't go anywhere.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, The opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Hey everybody, I'm Drew Patrick. This is the Mansfield Sprint football team, and today I am out of my league.
You look so happy.
The Sprint football team decided that they were going to start me off easy with defensive backs coach Kevin Short, as in member of 4 different NFL practice squads Kevin Short, as in has his own Wikipedia page Kevin Short, as in has an NFL stat page on ESPN Kevin Short. Oh man, this is not going to end well for me. Y'all ready? Mm-hmm. Go. Okay. Here's one. 45 now. Go that way. There go. There go. I can catch for now. I could catch the ball. Now it's time for some of the basic skills of backpedaling as a defensive back. And it's true, just because I'm doing a piece doesn't mean I was immune to the punishments of dropping an interception. Oh no! You can't push up there. All right. Here we go. We both decided my footwork needed a little, well, work. So the last thing that we did was specializing in the footwork.
Your hips ain't that bad. Pretty good hips. Okay.
All right. Me on a scale from A to F.
A to F?
Where would you say I was?
Really?
Realistically.
About D minus.
All right, I'll take it. Not an F, so
You got good
we'll
fundamentals.
take it there. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
How's it feel?
Oh man, I'll tell you, my legs, they hurt. I'm not a DB. I know that for a fact. That my thighs, especially on that last drill, prove how desperately out of shape I am. But overall, good. That was way too bright of a commentary for what we all just witnessed. So I wasn't a defensive back. Let's try the offensive line. And it was going to be interesting because in sprint football, that I would happen to be the biggest person on the offensive line.
Honestly, bring a soccer cleat with your
All right, let's see it, Drew. Let's go, Drew.
Here we go.
Check, go! There you go, stay low, stay low, stay low.
free practice.
Yeah.
Maybe I can get my
There you go.
I don't know if I have eligibility left. All right.
See it.
All right.
Check, go! There you go, stay low, stay low. Sit. There you go.
Come
There you go, coming back.
You guys came at a good time.
Check, go! Let's see it, Drew. Check, go! Sit. Low man wins. Low man wins. There you go. All right, hey, give me 5 lines.
So I didn't do half bad on the drills, but then they decided to put me on the line. And despite being the only person out there without a helmet and pads, I think it went pretty well.
Yeah, there you go. All right, hey, we're just going to do inside zone left.
Okay.
Let's see it.
Inside left?
No.
Yep. Inside zone left. All right, let's go. Hey, just set go. All right. Okay. Set go. Fire now.
Full on?
Yep. There you go. Set go. There you go. Yeah, stay on him, Drew. Come on.
Come
on. Hey.
Come on.
Come on. Hey, over here. It's a double team here. So Tristan's coming with you.
Okay.
He's going to get off. And you got to
Take anybody.
All right, let's reload it. Reload it. Do it again.
I don't have eligibility though.
All right, you understand?
No more? No more here?
One
more.
Set, go!
Is that?
There you go.
Whistle. Nice.
There you go, Drew. Hustle back. Let's go. Hustle back.
We don't
Can't just get one block and be happy about it.
Got about 6 minutes. 6
All right, hey, let's go. Outside zone right. There we go. Step to the right. All right.
So you got. Oh, we got ace. Yeah, we got an ace. Working to the line. So sexy.
Set, go! Ooh. There you go. There you go, Drew. There you go, Drew.
You're right.
All right, hey, we're going to do toss right. All right, toss right. We're going to the right. Just take a hard reach step. All right, try to steal this guy off.
Okay.
All right.
Make sure you want to make it.
All right, let's see it. Yep. Or toss. Toss right. Set, go! Steal. There you go. There you go. There you go. All right, let's see a pull. You know how to pull?
Well, do I know? No, but I feel like I'm going to learn.
Okay. All right, so, Chad, play right off. Play on Steve. All right, hey, we're going to do, all right, just go trap right. All right, so Drew's go full. All right, just like we did the drill here. All right, you're going open here. You go down, go down. All right, then you go block Chad.
Okay.
All right, let's see it.
Gave you the easiest guy in the team to block too.
Let's see it with the quick feet.
These are tackling.
Okay, just set go. All right. Set go. Go, go, go.
Nice.
There you go. Work. Woo. There you go, Drew.
Weigh-ins tomorrow,
job,
buddy.
Drew.
Weigh-ins tomorrow.
Wait, what?
Nice job, Drew.
I think I'm well over the weight limit.
Me too.
All right, hey, let's do it. Try it one more time. Try it one more time. See the quick feet, Drew. Set, go. There you go.
Beautiful.
There you go. All right, hey, we got about a minute. We're on stretch time. All right, hey, bring it in. I'll bring it in. Hey, let's let Drew up.
Got 5 minutes.
Hey, Drew, hey, Drew, break him out. Break him down. Break it down, Drew.
All right. O-line on 3. 1, 2, 3.
O-line.
Yeah. Good job.
So he comes here and just gets the starting position. And
Yeah.
Over you two.
Be here at 2 for ready to go.
All right, Coach. On a grading scale of A to F, what would you grade that? Realistically.
A C minus.
I'll take it.
Yep,
I'll
C
take
minus.
it. C minus.
All right, you have some nice quick feet. All right, you got keep great low on your stance. All right, eyes up. You just finished.
All right.
Nice job.
C minus, a D minus, and C minus. I'll take it so far.
You got eligibility still there.
Nice job.
Good job.
No, you actually had.
Before we head out, we had 2 plays up for play of the week, but let's start with last week. It was Alexis Biddle against Jordan Holmes, and based on your votes, here was the winner. Take the goal kick. This one
Big kick.
is ahead to Bittiger.
Ooh, good footwork.
A spin, and this one ahead, and Biddle quicker. She might have another shot here. This one popped up, and this is a goal for Mansfield.
Yeah, I like it.
This week we have two plays. The first one comes from that football contest, and it's Gary Roppers finding Quinn Henry in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. The freshman connection that hopefully is going to work out all year long. That play is against a play from field hockey, as it was a penalty corner, and Michaela Chacon, just the reaction right there, gets the goal on the redirect. A brilliant goal there. To vote for Play of the Week, head over to Twitter to Mountie All Access on Twitter, and you can vote for your favorite, and results will be revealed next week. That's all the show we have for you today. To stay up to date on all things Mountaineer Athletics, head over to GoMounties.com. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.